Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all well and I hope you're having a great day. So it'll be a bit of a short video today. I came back from holiday last week. I haven't had a chance to do anything on the Minis and I've been very busy trying to find a replacement car. So in a previous video, like I said, I work in South Croydon. Unfortunately, the ULEZ zone is expanding and my BMW Mini, which is quite low emissions anyway, it's only £20 a year road tax, doesn't meet the ULEZ requirements. It's not Euro 6 and it's a diesel. So sadly, I need to sell it, replace it with a car that is Euro 6, or I have to pay £12.50 a day just to go to work. So at the end of this video, I will reveal what car I've bought. Get down in the comments and see if you can guess what car I've bought to beat the ULEZ. So there is a bit of an update. When I got back from holiday, I phoned up a place called Auto Blast, which is where I took the subframe to be shot blasted and powder coated. And it's all done. I haven't taken the wrappers off yet. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic. But let's unwrap it together and we'll have a look. So if you want to use them or you're interested, I'll put their web address in the description. They're called Auto Blast. They're near a place called Dial Post, which probably doesn't mean much to a great deal of people. It's off the A24. Down in, is it West Sussex or East Sussex? It must be West Sussex. But they're really good bunch there, really friendly people, and they've done lots and lots of bits for me before, mainly subframes, but they also done the wheels on Project TARDIS. So I know they'll do a great job. This cost me 120 quid. That was for them to clean it up, shot blast it and powder coat it. It's in... is it? I can't remember. We'll have to have a look at the moment. I think it's in gloss black. Now, I know some people will say, oh, you don't want a powder coat because when it chips off, water gets under the powder coat. Yes, it can do, but this is not going to be a daily use car. It's probably not going to get chipped up. It's really going to be a car to use in the good weather, take to shows, and I want it to look as nice as it can do. So that gloss black really does look nice on a nice powder coat finish. So let me get it unwrapped and let's have a look. Right, so let's go in for a close-up, and the finish is absolutely beautiful. Better than factory. The factory finish is not nearly as good as this. It's a nice thick powder coat. It's been applied really, really nicely. And what I like about these guys at Auto Blast is they go round and they plug up all the threads as well. So where there's threads, like in here, and also the tower bolts, they'll plug them up because the powder coat will get down and get into the threads, and it can make it very, very difficult when you're reassembling. But these guys at Auto Blast do a proper job. So there we go, really, really pleased with it. I need to start getting this built up now, so I'm probably not going to get a chance tonight. I've got a lot on this weekend, so I'm not going to get a chance to do much more. So it might be a short video this week. I'll show you the new car to the fleet in a moment. But yeah, the idea now is to get that built up. Probably in the next episode we'll do the top arms, put new bushes in the top arms, we'll put new donuts in, high-lows in, bottom arms in, probably build up the front hubs with new bearings, swivels and everything like that, and then we'll get it back in the engine bay, so it'll be back on all four wheels. I'll get the rack back in and it'll be, I mean, to be honest, it rolls around fine as it is on the pallet at the moment, but I can get it properly rolling around now. And I need to speak to Paul Jeffries actually, because I think the engine is done, or it must be nearly done, so we can probably get the engine back in as well. And then the next bit will be turning our attention to the rear. Just to update on this paintwork under here, it's probably 6 or 7 weeks ago I've done this now. It is still absolutely beautiful. Now, I know it's a little bit lumpy under here. It is only under the bonnet, but the finish is still, it still looks wet to touch. Even though there's been a bit of dust and that in here, it looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm really pleased with how that comes out, and I need to do the inside of the car next before we take on the big challenge of eventually painting, respraying the whole car. I don't know how much I'm going to find at the back, how many problems, but we'll see in a later episode, obviously. So there's the subframe. Really pleased with it. Let me turn the camera around and let's go and have a look at my new ULEZ compliant car. I just thought I'd mention as well, so Project Sprout. So obviously Project Sprout went just before I went on holiday. It went to a guy called Russ, and he's been a subscriber of the channel for quite a while. Really nice chap. He's from the Isle of Man, so he flew over from the Isle of Man. I picked him up from Gatwick Airport, and he come down and he picked up Project Sprout. Russ is a big guy. I picked him up from the airport, and I'm a big guy, and I thought, you know, I'm quite big for a Mini. Russ is bigger than me, so but he fitted in okay. He's driven it back to the Isle of Man, and he is really getting use out of that car, which is what it's all about. For me, it was just sitting here collecting dust, and like I say, needs must. I need to remortgage my house. I needed to buy a new car as well, so I had to free up some money. So thanks, Russ, for buying the car. I'm really, really pleased he's getting some use out of it. I think Russ done more mileage in 1 week than I done in 3 years in Sprout. And in fact, Russ done more mileage in 1 week than Project Sprout has probably done in maybe 16 years, something like that. So yeah, he's out and about and he's all over the place. You'll see there, I did put the number plates on retention because there was no point it going to the Isle of Man with those plates on, because it'll have to go on Manx plates and have a Manx test, so that registration number would have been lost. So P.222 OOW, the sister of P.111, will go on another car at some point. It's a bit tricky though, because it needs to be, you can't make the car look newer, so it's got to be sort of a 97 on Mini for it to go on. Anyway, let's have a look at the new car to the fleet. Right then, as I said, there is a new car on my fleet, but sadly it's not a Mini. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I know some of you guys are sometimes interested, so let's go and have a look at what we got. So there we go. It's a 2022 Hyundai Ioniq and it's full EV. I bought it, it is pretty much just on a year old. It was actually a dealer demonstrator car, so it's the only owner before has been the main dealer. It's had its first service. It's just done 9,000 miles and I absolutely love it. I won't go into all the details on it. Light's getting a bit low now, but it's a beautiful colour as well. It's pearlescent red. You probably can't see it now, the light's dying down a bit, but I'm really, really pleased with it. It drives beautifully like any EV. I am a bit of a fan of EV vehicles. They drive so nice, they really, really do. And this car is pretty much perfect for what I need in a car for work, really. I need a car which is ULEZ compliant. This car is not range topping. There you can get EVs with, you know, 300 miles or so range now. This one is, it's 193 miles range officially. And from what I read of these, it's far more easily capable of doing that most of the year round. Maybe a little bit of a reduction in the winter, but they're very, very good cars, Hyundais. and it's a premium SE, which means it is absolutely fully loaded. It's got everything on it. Everything is automatic, wipers, lights. It's got adaptive cruise control. It's got the start-stop adaptive cruise control, so when you're in traffic, it literally just drives itself. It's got lane keep assist, which will keep you in the lane. You can let your hands off the steering wheel and it will drive itself pretty much. Full leather, climate control, everything, heated and cooled seats, privacy glass. It's got the full works. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. They are really good value at the moment as well. Obviously the sort of financial crisis and the cost of electric has sort of slowed down EV sales and has impacted them quite a bit, because they were doing really well. But I'm at home, I'm on Octopus Go, I think it is. It's 30p a kilowatt hour. So it still means my commute to work in the diesel BMW Mini, and that does pretty much 60 miles to the gallon. I worked it out. Last time I worked it out, it cost me around about 11 quid, 11 quid in fuel to do my commute, which is just over 70 miles. Even at 30p a kilowatt hour, that will work out a fiver or less. And if I can charge at work, then even better. So it's still a big saving, zero road tax. Yeah, really pleased with it. Let me know what you think in the description or the comments down below. And just a quick sneak peek inside if you're interested. So like I say, it's the top spec model, so it's got all leather, heated and cooled leather, and yeah, it's got all sorts of whizzy bits on it. Super pleased with it. It really is a lovely car. There we go, we're charging at the moment. I've got a pod point charger at home, and that's 7 kilowatt. So it's not too bad. It's not fast charging, but it's not too bad. Doesn't take too long to charge. And the only little dilemma I've got now is which one to sell. So the BMW Mini is worth more, but the second car's for my wife Angie. She doesn't really like the Fiesta, but I don't think she's much of a fan of the Mini either, to be honest. But the BMW Mini's worth more. The only thing I've got to take into consideration is my daughter's 16 years old, 17 in November, and she's going to want to learn to drive. She's probably better off learning to drive in this Fiesta. It will be cheaper on insurance, that being a Cooper diesel. I'm sure the insurance groups are higher. This has been a fantastic car actually. I think I've owned it for 4.5, maybe 5 years. Done 20 odd thousand miles in it. Consistently does 60 odd miles to the gallon, and it's really nice to drive. It's still quite good fun. So yeah, jury's out. I'm not sure which one to sell. I'll have a think about it.